friends, Jewel back with another super cool astrology video, and I wanted to continue my series on feelings and how to reconnect with that and how to live our life according to our feelings. And so I wanted to start out with talking about how, the very first steps that we take when we start on that journey of self-reconnection and self-reclamation. So we dissociate and repress our feelings, thoughts, and characteristics and desires early in life, relegate them to the unconscious. And this is as a result of having our feelings invalidated or otherwise unaffirmed or denied. And so we then, banish those things to the unconscious, those needs or those characteristics after the judgment regarding the good or the bad relating to what we felt or went through was made. And then, we relegate that experience or that feeling to the unconscious. And the unconscious is always going to be the most powerful force in our life, because it operates on a much bigger level than the conscious part of our life. The unconscious is what we don't know that we don't know. What we do know that we know is a very tiny sliver of what we actually operate out of. So this is why what we don't know is also, the big blind spots in our lives. So all those things we make bad judgments about and say, I'm not going to be that. Or I was told that this is bad, so, there must be something wrong with me because I want that. Well, I'm not going to acknowledge this anymore, and we put it somewhere where we don't accept that as a conscious thing in our life. So the unconscious is full of fear, and what we relegate to the unconscious, is very fear-based. So you could really see the sun as the conscious part of us. That's the identity part, the part that we want to be seen and appreciated for being, and is a real good description of what we're really meant to express ourselves as, when we're full and free and unfettered in that expression. And Neptune and Pluto are very much the unconscious planets in astrology that represents, those forces within us. So what we don't know that we don't know has a lot of control over us, because it has this robotic way of behaving in the world. So what we don't make conscious, what we don't dig into and bring to a conscious level, is always going to be operating on that automatic pilot part of us. It's very reactive. And so we become really the master and commander of our entire lives when we are able to get in touch with what is hidden, what is banished, what is not accepted in the unconscious, and accept that, make that a part of our conscious self. And this is where we really achieve a sense of wholeness. So we come out of that robotic place of self-judgment into a place of self-acceptance. And, the feelings that we repressed, dissociated from, denied, didn't have access ourselves, didn't allow ourselves to feel, those are the feelings now that we need to touch on, to bring back up and to reassess. And so, the more we can accept and feel the whole range of feelings that we have, and accept and give voice to the whole range of desires that we have, and the more that we can act on those feelings in real time, the more we are in tune with our higher self, the more we are in tune with our integrity. And so if we don't know how we feel, if we can't contact that, we can't contact that or trust that guidance from the higher self. And so we can feel very lost and very much controlled by our fears, because that's what we're operating out of, is this unconscious part of us. So we have to navigate our own ship on the sea of the truth of our feelings. And we have to know what those feelings are in order to do that. And when we can access those feelings and know what those feelings are, then we can start to create the boundaries within us that have been off or have been missing. Because boundaries come as a result from knowing how we feel and accepting how we feel and giving validity to how we feel. So the first thing that we have to do if we're going to be able to have personal truth is to know how we feel. So we have to get in contact with the body first. We have to get grounded. Many of us that detached from or dissociated or buried our feelings very early on are not in good contact with our bodies. We experience more of the world as more of a dissociated state from the physical in general, especially people that have a great deal of Neptune going on in their charts. So, when we have boundary problems and we have a lot of issues with blind spots, a lot of times it's because we are so outer focused on other people's issues, other people's feelings, other people's judgments of us. So we have lost focus with the internal, and we are so focused on the external that we don't know anymore what's going on in the internal. So feelings come very often, and intuitions come on through the medium of the body. They come through our hearing. It comes through the rate of our heartbeat. It comes through our perspiration. It comes through our adrenaline. It comes through our taste. It comes through the feelings and sensations that we have on our skin. And so when we're so focused on what other people are feeling, or what other people need, or what other people are doing, what other people think of us, we're not focused on those things, those physical clues that give us the truth that is already going on inside. It communicates and gives us the confirmation on the outside to what we're already we know of a surety on the inside. So we have to get grounded within our body in order to start making that connection between what the physical body is trying to tell us through the medium of, or what our feelings, are trying to tell us through the medium of our physical body. So this is a really good one for people who love to garden, because that's a huge factor in getting grounded, is getting your hands or your feet in the dirt, getting in contact with the earth, coming out of living in the Neptunian world of fantasy or of want or of wishful desire, and into the dirt of what you can see. That's what there is. So gardening is huge. Exercising is a big one. This will remind you of your body. This will get you into a place where you have to be in contact with your body, because you're working hard to make it go. So exercise is always one that's going to put us in a place of being forced into feeling what's going on within our own body. Horseback riding is a really big one, especially for females who have a lot of Neptune in them, because horses are ruled by Neptune. And they are a beautiful medium between the rider and the earth. So horses teach us so many things on so many levels, and this is one of the reasons I have horses. I love horses because they were actually really key and instrumental in getting me back in contact with my own personal power. Horseback riding has this way of forcing us into a position where we have to become conscious of all of what our body is doing. We have to be conscious of our posture. We're conscious of where our hands are. We're conscious of where our feet are. We have to learn how to control our bodies again, and in a way that is really not natural. And once you've been riding for a while, it becomes natural. You realize that, this sort of forced position is actually what is best for riding. It may not feel right at first, but you get used to it and you realize that it works well with the horse. It retrains your whole body. So that's a good one. And it also teaches us, there's something about communication with cameloids and horses that is comforting. And they think in pictures. And so there's just this comfort that they can give us, and this understanding that other animals don't readily have. So that's a good one. So, dealing with horses or horseback riding, especially with the riding part. Going barefoot is a big one. This will put you in direct contact with what is happening in your environment because you have to pick around. You can't just, unless you're really used to going barefoot, you can't just run around. You have to be careful. You have to negotiate your way. You're feeling everything. You are in direct tactile contact with your environment. And there's something about that where the energy of the earth can come up through the soles of your feet. It is very, very grounding very quickly. Hiking, being out, away in nature, being where you can smell the forest, you can smell the open air. This is a good one because it connects us to what is most peaceful. And we're working physically in that environment. We're going up, we're going down. We are energized by the environment. And it's one where it's very difficult not to come into your body because you have to use a certain amount of physical strain in order to do this activity. That's a really good one. Having your feet touched, or touching your own feet, is a good one. Reflexology is great for this, or having somebody, squeeze your heels in particular. This is a really, really good way to start bringing the thoughts, the feelings, the focus from the top into the bottom. Saunas are great. Hot water is great. And especially meditating in a sauna or in hot water, this can really amplify that experience and bring that focus very rapidly into the state of yourself instead of a state of paying attention to somebody else's environment. So this is the first step, is to getting grounded and putting you in a position where the attention and the focus is on the physical body and we're starting to go inward. The next step that we will take is a short meditation. It leads us more inward into the mind. But I always suggest that we start with the body because that is a huge link between the feelings and the mind. And we have to get that focus back onto what is the body trying to tell us. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back very soon with more videos on synastry, natal aspects, and also continuing this series as well, how to get back in contact with your feelings and your true self. And I do private consultation. You can find me on the internet at truthinAspectAstrology.com. You can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology. And I'll be back super soon with more super cool videos. Bye-bye.